All right, so have you guys seen Wednesday?
Wednesday Addams. Oh yeah, I've seen it.
I think everyone's kind of obsessed.
Yeah, I get that. It's such a captivating show. It's got all those spooky elements, but it's also got a modern teen mystery vibe.
It's so confusing, but I also can't stop watching it.
I know, right?
So let's dive into season one. What do you think about it?
Okay, so right off the bat, we see Wednesday Addams, and she's the ultimate goth teen, right? And she gets expelled from another regular high school again.
Classic Wednesday.
Totally. And so her parents, Morticia and Gomez, they decide to send her to their old school, Nevermore Academy.
Nevermore Academy, the school for outcasts.
Exactly. And it's got all sorts of supernatural beings there. You've got werewolves, sirens, gorgons, you name it.
It's like the ultimate monster mash.
It really is. And so Wednesday's roommate, Enid, she's a werewolf, which is the total opposite of Wednesday's personality.
Little opposites attract, right?
Yeah, sometimes. But Nevermore isn't just about the students and their quirks. There's also this big scary mystery going on.
Oh yeah, that monster lurking in the woods.
Right. It's attacking people and leaving a trail of victims.
Naturally, Wednesday gets involved.
Of course. She's got those psychic visions, and she can't resist a good mystery.
What did you think about those visions? They were so cryptic, like pieces of a puzzle.
Yeah, they were. And they always seemed to lead her closer to the truth, but never gave the full picture.
And then there's that whole connection to her ancestor, Goody Addams.
Right, Goody Addams, who also had psychic abilities and was an outcast back in her day.
It's like history repeating itself, huh?
Totally. And her visions, they seem to be guiding Wednesday, giving her clues about what's happening in the present.
Yeah.
Did you notice how the show would use those flashbacks to connect the past with the present?
Yeah, it was cool how they intertwined those two timelines.
And speaking of twists and turns, what about Tyler?
Oh my gosh, Tyler. Wednesday's love interest, who turns out to be the monster, the Hyde.
Talk about a plot twist. I totally didn't see that coming.
Me neither. It was so well done how they made you think he was this sweet, innocent guy.
And then, bam, he turns into a monster.
But it turns out he was being controlled, right?
Yeah, by Miss Thornhill, Wednesday's botany teacher.
It's Thornhill, the seemingly harmless, unassuming teacher.
Exactly, but surprise, surprise, she's actually Laurel Gates.
The descendant of Joseph Crackstone, the guy who hated outcasts.
Yeah, and her whole plan was to resurrect Crackstone and wipe out all the outcasts.
So Wednesday basically had to save the day. Again.
Well, she had help from her friends, including Enid, who finally embraced her werewolf side and transformed.
That was such a cool moment.
It was. So Wednesday confronts Crackstone, they have this epic showdown, and in the end, good triumphs over evil.
Nevermore is saved. Wednesday gets to finish her macabre novel.
Happy ending, right?
For now. But there are still some unanswered questions. Like, what happened to Tyler?
Yeah, is he really gone for good? And who was that mysterious person texting Wednesday at the very end?
So many questions.
Exactly, and that's what keeps us hooked, wanting more.
Wednesday just throws so many twists and turns at you. And I, for one, am totally on board for the ride.
Me too. And I can't wait to see what they come up with for season 2.
That van at the end, though. I mean, what even was that?
Right. Come on.
Is Tyler really gone? Who is sending Wednesday those messages?
Okay, well first, Tyler, do we think he's gone for good?
It seems too easy for him to just be locked up like that.
You're thinking about his connection to Laurel.
Well, yeah, and how powerful Hydes are.
It's true. Even if Laurel's gone, the connection may not be severed. Remember what we were talking about earlier?
But even if he does come back,
Yeah.
it still doesn't answer the question of those messages.
Okay, true. And those messages are pretty creepy.
They are. But going back to Laurel for a second,
Yeah.
did you find it weird how she said she was like a pawn in a bigger game?
Yeah. It makes you wonder who else is out there.
Like, is there a secret society pulling the strings? Or maybe another family we haven't met yet?
Oh, for sure. We know that Jericho has a long history with outcasts. There are probably a ton of people who would love to see them gone.
It would make sense for Wednesday to have an even bigger threat in season 3.
Well, totally. It would raise the stakes for sure. But let's not forget about the people Wednesday has on her side, too.
Like Enid and Xavier.
Exactly. Enid finally became a werewolf.
I know. I was waiting for that all season.
It was so cool to see her finally embrace that part of herself.
And it's interesting because at the beginning of the season, Wednesday wanted to do everything on her own.
Right. But as the season goes on, she actually starts to rely on her friends.
Like, even Wednesday Addams needs help sometimes.
Everyone does.
It shows you the power of friendship
Mm.
and acceptance.
Absolutely. Like with Enid struggling to control her powers, it's like a metaphor, you
Yeah,
know?
for feeling like you don't belong.
Yeah. And seeing how Wednesday supports her, even though they're total
This
opposites,
is nice.
it really is. And the show also has some really funny moments, too.
Oh my gosh, yes. Wednesday's sarcasm is the best.
Like every line out of her mouth is a punchline.
I know. And Thing. Oh my gosh. Thing.
So good. Even though he doesn't talk, he's hilarious.
He steals every scene he's in.
Okay, but going back to those creepy messages for a minute.
Ugh, yeah. I don't think we've figured those out yet.
Who do we think is sending them? Someone we've met, or someone new entirely?
Well, can't be Tyler. He's still locked up. Yeah.
Hopefully. But maybe it's someone connected to him somehow.
Or to Laurel. Like maybe someone wants revenge.
Oh, yeah. Someone who blames Wednesday for everything that went down.
Or maybe it's connected to Crackstone somehow.
Ooh, like a secret follower. That's a good theory.
It would be a pretty big twist for season 2, that's for sure.
Right. But then again, with Wednesday, I wouldn't rule anything out.
Yeah, true. I feel like every time we think we've got something figured out on this show, there's another twist.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah.
it just keeps you guessing.
Okay, but seriously, those text messages. I need to know who is sending those to Wednesday.
Yeah, those messages are pretty unsettling. Like, why now? Why wait until after everything with Crackstone to start messing with her?
It's like they're trying to get in her head, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Like, maybe they want to show her that she's not as in control as she thinks she is?
Okay, but who would want to do that? Could it be someone connected to Laurel?
Maybe. Someone who wants revenge.
That's a good point. Remember how everyone kept talking about how Wednesday was the key to bringing Crackstone back?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe someone thinks they can still use her.
Oh, that's a scary thought. But it would definitely make sense as a motive.
It's almost like the Addams family can't escape these situations. Like they're cursed or something.
It's like fate, you know? No
Mm.
matter how hard they try, there's always going to be some darkness following them.
You think Wednesday will ever catch a break?
Honestly. I kind of hope not.
Me too.
Dude.
It wouldn't be Wednesday without a little mystery and mayhem.
Exactly. But speaking of things we still don't know, what about Principal Weems? Do you think she's really dead?
We didn't see a body. And she is a shapeshifter, so
Right.
I don't know.
It would be so cool if she faked her own death, like
Nah.
as a way to protect the school or something.
That would be such a Weems move.
Ugh.
Always 10 steps ahead.
It would make things even more complicated for Wednesday, though.
It would. And it would totally fit with all those themes of trust and betrayal. Like, who can you really trust at Nevermore?
No one.
Seriously. Speaking of the show, what do you think is behind its success? It's everywhere these days.
Well, for starters, everyone knows who the Addams family are. I mean, they're iconic.
Yeah, true. So it's got that nostalgia factor going for it.
Right. But also, I think Wednesday is a character that really resonates with people.
Why do you think that is?
I think because she's so unapologetically herself, like she's not trying to fit in or please anyone.
Yeah, she's not afraid to be different.
And she's super smart and independent.
I feel like she's a good role model for anyone who feels like they don't quite belong.
Oh, for sure. Like she's showing people that it's okay to be a little different, a little weird even.
Embrace your darkness.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's safe to say we're both excited for season 2.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There are still so many things we need answers to.
Like, who is sending those messages?
Yeah.
Is Tyler really gone? And what's going to happen to Wednesday and her friends at Nevermore?
So many questions. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long to find out.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you like this breakdown of Wednesday, make sure you subscribe for more TV recaps. Thanks for watching.